So now is finally our chance to find out what truly happens once Winston calls the Overwatch team back into action. Questions will be answered like, who shows up? Is it really a second Omnic Crisis? What is the main goal of Talon, and why are they targeting all these world leaders? How does Genji go to the bathroom? Who had sex with Torbjorn? And is McCree ever going to slap Mercy's cheeks?
Give me your attention, baby.
Find out next time on Overwatch 2. Hello! Yo, what is going on, heroes and heroines? It is I, the fanatical Makai Vega, coming to you today with another episode of the Hype Train. Let's see what's on the queue for today. Let's see. Overwatch 2. Indeed. Actual important documents in that thing, so I should probably pick that up. Now, what the freak is Overwatch 2? See, one of the first and more weirder things that they announced about the game is that most of the stuff from Overwatch 1 is going to be transferred into Overwatch 2. Characters, skins, emotes, all that good stuff. And they even told us that Overwatch 1 players will be able to play PvP alongside Overwatch 2 players, which means they'll also get new heroes, the new maps, the new modes, without having to pay a dime. Yeah. Right. Now some of you may be a little kerfluffled about that. And for those of you who aren't kerfluffled, imagine this scenario. You're living in a nice apartment, nice furniture, utilities optional, right? You can pay extra money, but you don't really have to if you don't want to. It's all nice, fine, and dandy. So you get comfortable. A few years pass and you're like, you know what, maybe it's time to move on, gotta find another place. Neighbors are getting kind of rowdy.
You cannot kick my ass. I'll kick you in the face. Kick your ass, make you fly to China.
So you look for a new place and you find another one. Same thing, but a little bit better, you know what I mean? And then a couple days later, you hear some rustling coming from next door. Oh hey, well look at that. It's my old neighbors. How the heck did they get here? And then you find out that they got here without paying a dime. For free. Yet you paid all this money for that same thing and that. What? I'm sorry, the analogy's over, so, what? Do you hear me what I say now? So why should you pay for a new game? I mean, I'm still gonna pay for it because I am a dingleberry when it comes to money management, but why should you pay for a new game? In this video, by the way, I'll be talking to you as if you played the first game, but if you haven't for some reason, Overwatch. You want a PvP hero shooter? Overwatch is the game. It's the trailblazer right here. You see Rainbow Six Siege, you see Apex Legends, Rogue Company, Valorant. Overwatch was the trendsetter. So do yourself a favor, alright? But to answer my earlier question, if you are someone that only cares about the PvP multiplayer, then the answer for you is probably going to be a big fat no. But if you are like thousands of others that since the first Overwatch cinematic short have been addicted and I've grown an absolute boner of curiosity for these characters, this world, and this entire event of Overwatch, then join me in buying Overwatch 2.
Are you with me?
Yes, I am. So that is just a long-winded way for me to say that the main draw for Overwatch 2 will be its new cinematic story mode and hero missions. Not single player, but campaign. These things, as a part of the first game, used to be exclusive to only seasonal events, but now will be in the game permanently. They say that with Overwatch 2, we're building the cooperative, narrative-driven game experience that players have been asking for since the original, and that we've wanted to make for a long time. J. Allen Brack, president of Blizzard Entertainment. Lovely. So for those of you like me that have looked to Overwatch for more than just its PvP, then you know that there has always been a story there just waiting to be told in the most cinematic grand format. I mean, whoever's making those shorts should get a movie deal like right now. So most players were estranged when Overwatch didn't really have any sort of set permanent story mode to accompany their game. But now it seems like we're finally getting it. So to me, it's kind of strange that we've been calling this a sequel, because this story mode should be the story of the first game. So it's kind of like just a quill. It's not before, not after, just a quill. Yes. Any whatnot. So this new story section of Overwatch will feature missions for up to 4 players, as they battle an elite group of Talon members called the Null Sector. They will run much like the seasonal events of the first game, with online teams taking on AI robots in either wave battles or in the attempt to escort a payload or any sort of objective. However, the maps will be larger, more complex, and way more narrative focused. And I know Overwatch has a lot of heroes, but they won't always be free selection. Certain times the hero selection will be locked, and other times they will give you free choice. So for example, if you're on a mission in hot Brazil and Torbjorn is in California making another overpowered child, then obviously you won't be able to play as him. Though one of the main changes we're looking at is an upgrade system. Throughout these missions you will be able to access a progression menu where you will be able to upgrade certain character abilities. For example, Reinhardt's Fire Strike can be upgraded to ignite enemies as they touch the receiver. Also, Tracer's Pulse Bomb can be chain reacted to hit a bunch of enemies at the same time. Oh yeah, just wait till I give you my chain reaction Pulse Bomb, you Hanzo mains. Before you get your panties in a wop. These abilities will not be transferable to the PvP multiplayer. Now here's something that all Overwatch players will care about. So as with all new things, we are expecting an array of new features, but the thing we're most excited about are the new heroes. So this man, Ron Keller, has said, "Yeah, right out there, bro, what are you doing?" So this man, Ron Keller, the lead writer at Blizzard, he tells us that there are many new heroes in the works for inclusion in the campaign and as well as the multiplayer. My hope is that they're going to even out the good guy to bad guy ratio. But that's just me, because I find villains way cooler than I find heroes, so fight me! So what we have confirmed right now is that all the heroes from the first game will be included in the second, as well as a new character called Sojourn. She's a Canadian former Overwatch captain. The comics tell us that she worked directly under Jack Morrison, aka Soldier 76 is coming for your buns. She's been long hinted at since appearing in in-game pictures and the shorts. Notably though, she appeared as one of the many stills in the animated short Recall, in that moment where Winston was flicking through the pictures noting who to call back. Which most likely means that we are getting more characters from those stills and those screenshots. There are entire groups online dedicated to theorizing and making fan art of what these characters could be. A few of them look mighty interesting and like they could add a whole nother meta with their inclusion, much like all the new heroes that were sprinkled in Overwatch 1. Next to do on the list is the PvP multiplayer, which I saved to last just because of the fact that not much of it is actually concrete. The Kaplan has implied that all modes and heroes are being worked on in a manner that will make Overwatch 2 a complete departure from the first. This means possibly a switch in styles, new game mode, larger and more complex maps like New York, Toronto, and Monte Carlo, just take an Overwatch vacation. One of the things I'm excited for One of the things that I'm excited for is this new map that they hinted at is called Push. Now this game mode will play like an Overwatch style tug of war. Think escort, but the payload starts in the middle. The team that controls the payload pushes it towards their goal. The team that pushes it further into their half of the map is the winner. Also, as we know, Overwatch is a game famous/infamous for nerfing and buffing characters all the time. One of the characters even goes, "Nerf this!" and then gets nerfed and then buffed and then nerfed again. Irony! But this time they're looking to implement those changes to entire role categories. Tanks will be turned into more brawling style of characters, which means they'll be used more aggressively as damage sponges rather than protection-based heroes. For example, Reinhardt will now be able to curve his charge ability, making it so he doesn't just, swoop off the edge whenever he misses somebody. Raise your hand if you've fallen victim to that. Yes, I was so ashamed that I seppuku'd myself and then came back to life. Tanks will also be less of a free charge for your ultimate ability. So you no longer be able to just constantly nail a re-healing Roadhog until you charge your ult in 20 seconds. Yeah, sad face. Damage heroes will be given increased movement speed, and healers will be given an auto-healing passive just like Mercy's, but not quite as strong. When you put all those things together, it makes for a much more aggressive playstyle for all the teams involved. It'll give you no choice but to play more aggressively than you would usually. Targeting those healers, you have to stay on them because they auto-heal. Tanks will just be able to charge into enemy cavalry because their buffs will allow them to do so. Damage heroes will likely be quicker and stealthier than ever. So toast those buns, prepare your tea, because it's gonna be a hot one. There is one thing that I would like to note, however. One of the reasons that I stopped playing the first game was because of the roll lock adding, and the fact that I have to wait about 4 times longer to play a damage hero rather than a tank or a healer, which if you look at the roster, that's like over half of their characters are damage heroes. It's upsetting. I get why they did it. Not everybody likes to play not their favorite heroes, so a lot of the times you'll probably get games with nothing but damage heroes, which in a game like this makes for pretty uninspiring teamwork. But still, it's upsetting having to sit down and sing campfire songs while you're waiting 10 minutes to play a game as McCree or Soldier 76 or Tracer. So I'm gonna say that needs a new system, like maybe adding another role to diffuse that giant damage category. But then again, 4 does not divide evenly into 6, so I don't know if that's gonna work. But you could, I guess, like make 6 different hero roles, but then it'd just be like Town of Salem up in this mug. I don't know. I don't know. You can find a way. You can think of a way. If you think of a way, let me know. But like I said, It really is kind of frustrating having to sit there and wait so long just to play one of these heroes that you love. And I know there are like game modes with no hero limits, but it's kind of the same deal because it's not the main game mode, so not as many people are playing, so it's like, I don't want to do it. Anyhow, Overwatch 2 has no current release date. Kaplan and the crew want as much time as they need to really perfect and fine-tune every aspect about this game. Which you can't really get mad at because it's nice to see passionate people not making themselves unpassionate by giving themselves unnecessary deadlines. I know the feeling, which is why my first few videos kind of suck. So the game won't be out until next year at the earliest. But I have heard on the grapevine that they are releasing a beta later this year, potentially. You can even sign up right now at blizzard.com. And if you are one of the lucky few that do happen to get a code, you'll be able to try this out early. You will be able to try out demo versions of the hero campaign and PvP multiplayer. So good for you. And I will likely see you there. But this is now the end of the video, so thank you for tuning in to the hype train. Sources in the description below, but hey, do me a favor. You see that like button? Overwatch. That dislike button? Battleborn. Which one you playing? Answer's simple to me. Play Overwatch. To board the hype train today by hitting that subscribe button. Need your help here, guys. I just looked and saw that I don't even have a custom URL yet. Need 100 subscribers to get those. Right now I'm still youtube.com/XOO Respect. But after that first 100 subscribers, I get to be youtube.com/HypeTrainHero. So tell all your friends and hit that subscribe button because the world could always use more heroes. Next time on the hype train.
Time is on my side.
Deathloop. Hype train, baby. Woo, woo.
I couldn't have done it alone. Let's get to that outlaw. Heroes never die.
Just sitting